Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, it's Regit. You join me with my cold still in great force as I try and reform my Heavenly Tower strats to be even better than they were better before. Currently trying to create a rough format of slots which don't need to change much between the armies that I need for floor 21, 22, 23, 26 and 28 with these 4 meat shields and then some different stuff, as well as some of the same Ubers in floor 26 going to floor 28, all trying to make it a little bit more simple and easier to go through the Heavenly Tower. And I tell you what, I think with my true form Jizo, it's going rather well. And there we go. There is a possible segue into what we're looking at. The other true form of Update 7.4, the true form of everybody's favourite, you've definitely all used it all the time, Gardener Cat. Here the thing is then, Lumbercat, of course. I forgot that that was the same thing, but also a unit I never really tended to use. Kept this key weapon in an anti-zombie kit instead of doing something useless like cutting down trees. Might freeze zombies. I don't actually remember ever reading that description. Might have been because when I got this cat I was desperately trying to do Rolling Dead back in the day when it was nigh impossible and it really didn't help because of its awful proc rate. But maybe things will improve in Lumbercat terms with this evolution. Weedwacker cat. True form greatly increases defense, which is nice. Might stay around for a bit longer. Attack range also improves. Fair enough. Freeze time versus zombies increases. So what I see here is a distinct lack of higher proc chance. Freeze time, all very well and good. Attack range, all very well and good. Defense, not too entirely sure about that, especially for a Cyclone, which would just kill things instantly. But maybe other zombies, especially with the burrowing, that could probably help. We're not getting any kind of more regular procs. That is a little bit worrying. But I'm going to give it an evolve anyway, as I always do. And we're going to see just how much it improves in very subjective terms. Right, you Lumbercat, and now Weedwacker cat. Yay, with a huge spiky circle. Ordered a fierce looking trimmer online. That's becoming a bit of a trend. We have Maximum the Fighter. Okay, it's only 2 cats, but it's a trend. He's never actually used this tool to cut plants. Might freeze zombies for a bit longer. Well, there you go. Isn't that the only thing we wanted out of good old Weedwacker cat? Well, to have a look and see, I'm going to put it in my floor 27 strat, because hopefully if this proves as a benefit to us, I can put it in my Heavenly Tower strats folder. Here it is, the slot that I have which has Hijiri or bathtub cat in this very space that is now occupied by the great and unfathomably fantastic, I assume, Weedwacker cat. We're gonna give it a go. Will it improve our floor 27 standing anymore? Well, we've progressed quite far in it already. We went from needing a rich cat to complete it by very close terms to being able to stack relatively easily and beating it relatively easily. But will the Weedwacker cat make this job any easier for us? Call me a cynic on this one, but my vote would probably be no. Reason principally being this whole proc issue. All my other stuff in this strat doesn't really rely on any kind of proccing value. The Sarakani has Zombie Killer. It just does a lot of damage to zombies. Legs, they stack. The dragons, they stack. The Cyberpunk will always slow. So I always know where I am with this strat and what I'm going to get. But with my Weedwacker, I'm wondering, although that seemed like a good sign, I think that was a zombie kill from Weedwacker. Ladies and gentlemen, that looks like a constant attack. Now, I am also completely negating the way I'm actually supposed to do this strat. I should have a Cyberpunk by now, so I'm going to save up for that. This true form Gardener cat, well, I can immediately see that it's great for the little peons, I will admit. But then also the increased range isn't helping it against Lord Gravy, so there's one thing to possibly bear in mind. But I mean, that Snatch, it dealt with that really nicely easily, and I tell you what, it's not quite as awful as I thought it might be. But this next stage will tell all, because Miss Hacker is about... Oh, is that a proc? It's a flipping proc, and the constant attack means we're getting quite a long proc off. Well, that would explain the non-increased chance then. That was flipping ages we had that frozen for. Well, I tell you what, again, it's doing a decent job here. I dare say that it's been rather helpful, and I dare say that in zombie levels it might be of actual decent use to us, because I have long had trouble with zombie peons causing me trouble, especially on like outbreaks and that, definitely. And I think that true form will actually be of assistance. Right, a Bahama in, because that's where we need to rush towards the base and delay the Miss Hacker if we possibly can. Hopefully we won't get caught out by any of that. Right, I should focus over here and hope the Bahama's doing what it needs to do, because unfortunately I can't really defend with anything because I've spent my maglev. So we're gonna hope that it. Oh no! 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 Hey! I was going to swipe to see if we've almost done it, and actually it was no continue, so I couldn't have done anything anyway. But we got another clutch. We've done it, but that also kind of brings into question, has that made it more difficult for us? Or is it just because I haven't been doing my strategy quite right? I'm in two minds about it. It was really good for the peons, but then was it really good for gravy and that? But then again, what if we can get a stack of them to deal with Hacker as a sort of contingency plan if we end up sort of going towards failing the level? Well, let's hopefully prove myself right by taking it into a Norway into the future outbreak and see if it deals well with the peons here. I feel like it might. I feel like this is going to be its real strength. So, a hippo to start us off. That seems like prime maglev material there. And then hopefully we're going to get some zombies. Because, I mean, I'd usually hope for a lack of zombies, but here that's what I sort of want to test against. And we're getting no zombies. Zombies! There we go, Azore in fact. Okay then, Eraser and Weedwacker. That's gotta do it surely. Let's slow you, my fellow, so you don't burrow, although you might still. I hope you don't. There we go, he's staying there. Excellent news. We can actually test out a Weedwacker against it. Is that an area of effect? I assume it must be. It killed those guys and pulled off a proc. And there's a zombie kill. I think this is the perfect recipe for zombie peon success. The fact that the attack is so constant, obviously it's going to be defined into little subsections within the constant whirring motion, but the effects of having what is essentially a constant attack, a little bit like Hurricanes, means when you eventually get that proc, it's not too long until you get that proc, and then when you do, it really helps for things like this. Not sure if it's going to really aid floor 27, but I think it's pretty good. Whoa, that's some good zombie kill stuff. I never remember seeing that with Lumbercat. It's so much better than I thought it would be. I mean, the constant attack really makes these things and really improves them to no end. Internet reconnected to, and I have now enough energy to try floor 27 for another time. And this time we're going to be making no mistakes. I'm going to bring up my strategy notes that I wrote specifically for myself and I ought to be using anyway, so that I do it in exactly the same way with obviously this little difference that we have, and see if it could be any better. Upgrading our worker cat, that seems fair enough. We want to get it to level 4. That really makes sense for the amount of monies we'll need to get. Zombie levels aren't really famous for giving you loads of monies all the time. Maglev is out, and then Manic Macho Legs. Spam Eraser and spawn a few units to stall while you save for Worker Max. There's a proc and a zombie kill. Excellent news, happening too fast for me to even commentate over. Brilliant stuff. That's a level 7 Worker Cat, still alive. I assume the defense and the range is genuinely helping it then. I was all naysaying about it. I was like, nah, that doesn't seem like it's gonna work, to be fair. But no, it was quite good. Right, Cyberpunk, now that everything's all close, and we definitely don't want the Cyberpunk to die, so spawn some other units, and then my Weed Whackers, and then all the other stuff. What does it actually say in my notes? Maybe a bit of maglev, and then begin the stack. So this is how we're really doing it. We build up the worker cat first, not quite max, but there you go. I'm sure it's fine as is. And there's Hacker. Right, we should definitely try and push forward a little bit before we get usurped, before we can get past our own base. Flipping Cyberpunk. So far off the screen I could barely even see it. Now is when our stack builds up and we will hopefully destroy everything. Now thinking about it, this way of doing the strategy isn't even necessarily much better or more efficient. We've definitely got a more established stack, but I feel more in danger to a great extent, and I'm not feeling like this is any better a way to do it. I don't know, I might need to rewrite my notes. Right, here's the big moment then. I assume what this strategy really is for is fighting Hacker and Gravy at the same time instead of fragmenting them and sending an Abraham through, even though actually, yeah, that's part of the strat anyway. We've zombie killed Gravy and Hacker is still in front of the stack. We've got a zombie kill somewhere there. We've frozen it and knocked it back. Max Worker Cat now. We keep knocking it back. This is a ridiculous stack that we've got going on. a whack from a Bahamut, a maglev clipping straight through, and we're going to start moving past it anyway. Hacker's going to be old news. We can't even kill it properly because we're too fast. Look at us. We're just too good. I guess that explains the benefits of that written strat then. I might amend it so I don't have to get the Weedwacker up so high so I can get my Cyberpunk perhaps a little earlier. But other than that, I like that. And I tell you what, I like Weedwacker. I think I am going to incorporate that into my floor 27 strat because then at least I have a way to use it. I love things with a constant attack. That's why I'm one of the few people standing up for better Kuma because of that constant attack. I love it. Kick, 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 kickity kick, and boop, 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 destroying those enemies. Hecking brilliant Batakuma. Don't you say a bad word about it. Here it goes then. Let's make the screenshot and make this official. This is now gonna be my floor 27 strat, and I'm going to amend my strategy notes thusly. Upgrade Weedwacker to level 4 is probably fine because we have the maglev then after that to get rid of the few of the bats, and then manic macho legs as well, probably fine because I overspawned in that bit. Rather than perhaps spam, well spam's probably fine, we're not spending too many monies on it, so spam a razor and spawn a few units to stall while you save for, and I'm just going to change that to Cyberpunk. Instead, we probably don't need the max Weedwacker as we sort of demonstrated, even though it was nearly there at level 7. Lower a little if need be and spawn Cyberpunk, then spam all units except maglev and a Bahamut. I guess that's for the hacker just in case. Use maglev for if zombies burrow into army. Spawn a Bahamut and Gravy's dead and hacker burrowed. I mean, we can do that. Then that rest of it is fine, but really these first 4 steps are the ones that we need to be able to complete the level. I think Weedwacker 4 is fair enough. We don't need it down in the depths, otherwise we might struggle to raise the funds that we need. But I think with the amount of zombie killing from Weedwacker Cat, that's gonna do now. I think that's gonna be really good. I'm obviously gonna test that a little bit more, but that's gonna be my brand new bona fide floor 27 strat, so I will save that off. Say to you all here, thank you for popping along to the video and giving it a watch. I shall be off now, so I will bid you goodbye and say I hope you enjoyed.